Hi, so I'm done with my infusion and I'm sitting in the rose garden at City of Hope. I don't know if you can see it. It's really pretty here. Most of the roses have been either clipped off or, they've changed it so that, or, clipped it down so that they can grow back, but they're really pretty. And I decided to sit here today because, I don't know, I'm done with my 12th infusion, so I'm getting her done. There's some really pretty mountains over here, and I just need to sit for a few minutes. When I came here, I came to the rose garden, my husband and I sat on a bench, and when I was first diagnosed, I remember just sitting here because we didn't know. We'd just been told that I had cancer, and we were just so shocked and stunned. And it's just been a wild journey, and I don't know, I'm just sort of feeling like I'm not ready to go out into the world just yet today. My husband was right there by my side. We just sat on a bench. I remember they have a lot of benches here that are, people dedicate. You can sit and look at the roses, and it was chilly, and I had on my red jacket because it was winter time, and I have this long J. Crew red long jacket, and I just sat, and I think we just cried and talked. The train going by. Just stunned. And I'm glad to be on the other end of it. But so much has happened, and so much has changed, and so much has just gone on in this short amount of time. It hasn't even been a year yet. And here I sit in the rose garden. Today I'm by myself. Which is kind of, it's, in the beginning I didn't like to be by myself at all. I used to before I was diagnosed. Now I'm kind of like, I sit and I don't know. I don't like to, now I'm getting back to being okay with being by myself. But it was so frightening in those first moments. And now today, here I am sitting in the garden on a bench. It says, in recognition of Melvin William Smith's gift to mankind to help eradicate cancer. So, feeling a little nauseated after Herceptin today, which I don't, the more Herceptin infusions I get, I seem to notice. I think it's just the accumulation effect. But yeah, I'm sitting by the Floribund flower, Judy Garland, it says on it. Yeah, I just am kind of sitting here thinking about how much this whole process has affected so many people in my life and me, and I've met so many great people, wonderful people, doctors and nurses, and I don't run out of here terrified anymore. It took a while to get my Herceptin today because the pharmacy has to make it. So I was here a little longer than I expected, which is fine. Just, it was kind of quiet today, and also, usually Wednesdays is like their crazy busy day. I don't know, I'm a little, I don't want to say sad, I'm just sort of, okay. Well, I finished that, and now I have 5 left. And it's a long process, and it's a hard process. It's mentally for me, for everyone actually that I speak to that has been a patient, the mental process, the mental fortitude that you have to have is unbelievable. You deal with so many different things, from a chemical crazy changes to, your friends and family's emotions, and people giving you unwanted advice or wanted advice, and dealing with the way that people look at cancer, my husband's mom passed away from it, so he's coming at it from an approach of like, oh my God, my wife has it now. What if she dies? You know, and it was really hard for him. And then for me, I'm like, what the hell? I did everything you tell me you're supposed to do, and I got it, and it's very indiscriminate. Anyone can get it. It was just not at all part of my life plan. I remember saying that to my oncologist many times. This is not part of my life plan. Like, this is not on my to-do list. Like, but yet here I am after surgeries and surgery. I have to have another one in order to remove the port, but surgery, chemo, Herceptin, radiation, more Herceptin, and then I'll have a final surgery to take my port out. Echocardiograms, ultrasounds, MRIs. I mean, the list just kind of goes on, and it's frightening how much happened in such a short. It's not frightening, it's just amazing, I guess, in a way, how much happens in such a short amount of time, and how your life can literally be flipped upside down, changed overnight. And we sat in this rose garden, terrified that I was going to die, just terrified. And I mean, yeah, that's an option for anyone with cancer. And I'm lucky that, as my oncologist today, he said to me, there's a cure for you, and over 98% is survival rate is considered, cure technically. And I can smell that hospital smell on me. And it's a type of soap that they use, because I've smelled it other places and it reminds me of City Hope. It's like, oh, that's City of Hope. And then I'm like, but I'm not at City. It's just been a long road. A long, long road. My doctor asked me today if I would be willing to talk to people about the hair saving process. God, this woman is so loud. And I said, yeah, I would love to. He talked to me about it during chemo, and then he asked me again. He's like, I know I talked to you about it. Would you be interested in doing that? And I said, yeah, definitely. It makes you feel good to connect with other people that are going through what you're going through, because your loved ones, they haven't gone through it physically themselves. Unless they've gone through it, they don't truly understand. And I don't mean that in a bad way. They try, but until you've been through it, it's like, I talked to Lori, my doctor today, my nurse today. It makes you question everything. And she said, it happens, she said, that's what, that's normal. Like, you question everything. You question whether, your career, you question what you've done with your life, marriages, not being married, or kids, not having kids, like your relationships with people. Like, just, it makes you literally reevaluate everything. And whether you're happy or not, or, like, happy is such a weird state of being, like, but, I had a good life before cancer. It wasn't a bad life, but cancer made me question. So it makes you question everything that you've ever done in your entire life. And it's hard for the family that loves you to hear things like that. And it doesn't mean that you love them any less, or it just means that it's put you in a state of questions, of contemplation. Because it really makes you realize that life is very short, and it's, as Lori used the word, it's fragile, I think maybe was the word she used. It's fragile. So it's hard to make yourself really focus on the small things when you've been faced with such a big thing. really hard. Like they said in the beginning when I was first diagnosed, you're going to be using your marathon training because this is going to be a marathon. It's not a sprint. And it is by far, by sure, the hardest marathon I have ever had to run in my entire life. Marathon training is easy compared to this. But I'm almost done. Yeah. There's this little squirrel over there. He's so cute. He has his little butt. Focus out on me.